Do you know what just happened? Well, we were speaking in a language called American Sign Language, also known as ASL. People who are deaf use this as their form of communication. Instead of speaking with their voice, they speak with their hands. Personally, I think this is a great language to learn. There are lots of people who are deaf and hard of hearing out there. Did you know over 5% of the population is deaf or hard of hearing? That may not seem like a lot, but that's over 360 million people. Today, I want to demonstrate to you some phrases and questions that you can sign. Let's start with things that you'd say at the beginning of a conversation. So, are you hearing? To ask this, you're going to put your finger to the person you are talking to show that you're talking to them and about them. Then you are going to move your index finger horizontally in front of your chin and then move it in a circling motion like Isabel is showing here. So, are you hearing? The second phrase is my name is. You would put your palm and the rest of your hand on your chest to show my, and then you're going to take your index and middle finger on both hands, and then you're going to put your right over your top and then tap them twice for name, like she's shown here. The third phrase is what's your name? Now, to do this, you're going to take both your hands, palms up, and then shake them back and forth a little bit for what, and then do the same sign as name as we just did. We'll point and then names. Now that we have gotten to know our friend a little bit, let's ask a little bit more. Let's start by asking how they are doing. So, how are you? So you're going to take two bent hands, kind of like a C, and then place them on your sternum, and then rotating your arms up to where they're pumped up, and then pointing to the person, again to show that you're talking to them and about them. Another question is, how old are you? So for this one, you wouldn't do the same how as we did before, but then you'd kind of grab your chin in the air like she's doing here, twice, and then point. Now it's important that you do twice because once is the word age and twice is old. It's always careful to do that. The next phrase or question is, what grade are you in? Now for this, you do the same what as we did last time, and then for grade, you take the letter G, put it up above your palm, and then bounce it a couple times for grade. Then point to the person you're speaking to. ASL is a different and interesting language. As you may have noticed, a lot of these phrases were shortened for signing. For example, what grade are you in turned into what grade you. ASL has a lot to do with facial expressions. Facial expressions are very important. They are the #1 key in ASL. For example, if you were signing something that could be considered as a question or just a statement, you really wouldn't be able to identify that without facial expressions. Facial expressions are like the voice inflection and are really the emotion of what you're trying to say or saying. It kind of sets the tone. You could kind of tell that these are questions and phrases by Isabel's face over here if I wasn't talking with her just signing. I'm glad I got to demonstrate these phrases and got to demonstrate facial expressions to you because lots of people really don't know ASL or really don't know what it is, but now you kind of do, or maybe you know more about it. You are now able to communicate to people using basic ASL phrases, and thank you for letting me have this time.